Looks a bit abandoned, doesn't it? We've just broken down. Fucking hell, that is hot. Cheeky moonshot there. Some star signs in that. Skeleton. Making waves in the YouTube world. I've broken down again. It's got to go. Maybe it's just time to have a cup of tea and wait for this to all blow over again. Making the decision to leave. I'm not even sad. This is a stupid thing. Oh Jesus, what was that? Loads of algae floating around everywhere. Hi, I'm Walt, and welcome to the beautiful and intriguing land of Scotland. Join me on my biggest ever road trip around the far north of England and the NC500 in my 20-year-old DIY Renault Traffic camper van. There are lots of ups and downs, twists and turns, and plenty of hidden gems are uncovered along the way as I meander into the wilderness. In this episode, I begin by spending a couple of days in Edinburgh before making my way back towards Galloway Forest. En route, I experience some problems with the van and evaluate if this might be the end of the whole trip, concluding the series. Looks a bit abandoned, doesn't it? There's a car on the property, so it must belong to someone. I don't know what that used to be. CCTV sign. Oh well. So I look cool. Well, we've just broken down. Brake stuck on. Oh god, it stinks. Fucking hell, that is hot. Can't even get anywhere near the wheel. Shit. I haven't used all the brake pads. It's almost like it's fizzing. Started getting a terrible vibration. Couldn't figure out what it was. Obviously the front right brake had stuck on because all the other ones are cold. It's either the caliper or the brake hose, and I really, really, really don't want to have to do any of that shit. Oh god. There's a park up 5 miles from here, like a car park, that's all it is, but people have used it to camp overnight. I'm going to try and get it there somehow, but I've got to get back on the dual carriageway and it's like 70 mile an hour. So I'm going to wait for the brake to cool down and see if it just comes unstuck on its own, or if I can hammer it unstuck or something. And then see if I can drive there without using the brakes. But I can't stay here because this is like a truck. I'm in like a petrol station. So if I can just get there, at least I'm off the road then as well. And I might be able to have a look at it properly tomorrow. Shit. Put off doing this job before I left. It's coming back to get me now. I spent the evening at a car park in a small village just off the A road somewhere north of Edinburgh. Fairy lights looking sweet there. Voice not so much though. Got a cold in it. Okay, we have made it to Edinburgh. I finally found somewhere to park. So I went exploring. Edinburgh is the Scottish capital, home to around 500,000 people. I'll be going there tomorrow. Just missed the deadline today, but just having a little explore. Although if you include the catchment areas, it's more like 900,000. The world famous Frankenstein. I think it was some kind of bar or restaurant, maybe. Just capturing a slightly obscure shot there. There is evidence of settlements in the area as far back as the Bronze Age, with a Mesolithic campsite probably existing in around 8500 BC. It's Victoria Terrace. As I wandered the streets of Edinburgh, noticing all of the different whiskey-based pubs or shops, it became clear to me that actually it was pretty good for just window shopping. Lots of these little quirky places, little alleyways, lots of things to look at. This is Edinburgh Castle, although I think it was about 20 quid or something, so I just kind of didn't go in. Probably too late for the castle, but I'll have a look tomorrow. I don't know what this is. Maybe a cathedral? Edinburgh is the hub of Scottish culture and is host to the annual Fringe Festival, among other things. And this is sort of looking across towards the art gallery and some buildings and that. This is the old town, or in this sort of direction it is. Let's go and see what the statue is a minute. Yep, it's a statue. Cheeky moonshot there. St Giles's Cathedral was initially constructed in 1124, although the actual current building, I believe the construction started from around the 14th century. It has been a working church here ever since. Just walking down the Royal Mile, I think they call it. It's a mile long. I thought maybe I'll go and talk to this person, but then I'll probably just get burned. Some very spectacular architecture spotted on the walk. A dying seagull. There's a bloke sat on a bit of concrete. Some more concrete. It's all very foreboding. Sir Walter Scott. That's the art gallery. As the evening drew in, I started making my way roughly back towards where I originally parked, which just so happened to be outside the police station. There were loads of these really long straight roads, like spaced out. Had a more of a Glasgow feel to it here. I'm starting to get an idea of the scale of Edinburgh. I suppose it's probably similar to Glasgow in size, but I hadn't really thought about it for some reason until you've kind of like got the bus in and like wandered around a little bit to kind of get an idea of the scales involved. Like Inverness was like, it felt quite big, but actually it's tiny compared to this. So Aberdeen, sort of a bit bigger, but first impressions are that it's an incredibly beautiful city. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And the architecture again is fantastic. It's a bit more pretty than Glasgow probably in the centre with the old city in it, but I haven't fully explored Glasgow to be honest. But interesting characters here. That's first impression. So yeah, as I pulled up earlier this afternoon, literally it's the weirdest thing. I just pulled in my van and this guy was like waving at me and I thought, oh god, here we go, but I ignored him because I thought maybe there's someone behind me. I literally just pulled in. It was like a residential road, but I wasn't even in view of a house. It was kind of quiet. Yeah, so I pulled in, engine's still running. This guy's like right in my face at the window, just staring at me. And he knocked and then I opened the window and he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, sorry? He was like, I can't remember what he said now. It was it was just so weird. I was like so sort of confused. He was like, where are you from? What are you doing here? And I was like, yeah, he said, what are you doing? I said, I'm just parking my van. And he was like, do you live here? And I was like, oh, sorry, I don't quite follow what you're getting at. And he just kept going, like, so I just said, oh, fuck this, and I just shut the window. And then he was just like staring at me, like with his face, like, he was like an old man, just staring at me as I drove off. All I wanted to do was just check Google Maps and check that I was going the right way. Bizarre. I think the thing is, he couldn't even see my van from the window side. So from where he was standing, it just looked like a van. Like, it's not even obvious that it's a camper or anything. So I don't know. Just seemed, the whole thing was just really weird. And then some guy in the centre of Edinburgh just now. God, he was a real character. He was really drunk. He grabbed me and, you know, he was like locked in. But he was like, I thought he was going to try and fight me first, because, well, I mean, it was pretty obvious he was trying to start something with me, but I sort of managed to talk him around a little bit, and then he like started talking to me, and then he was going about the Commonwealth and the Queen and everything, and telling me he was going to buy me a drink in this pub, and he was like trying to pull me along, and I was like, yeah, I don't drink. But eventually he sort of let me go. It was a bit very strange. In the middle of a busy marketplace, you know. Yeah, so I got a bus in. Yeah, so I'm going to go back to the art gallery tomorrow, and then, yeah, I'd like to go to the National History Museum and the art gallery and just get more of a feel for it, because I've kind of arrived a bit late today, so I feel like I've kind of seen the drinking culture quite a lot. On the streets anyway. I didn't go to a pub, but I thought about going to a pub, but then as soon as that guy kind of spoke to me a little bit, I was like, I don't want to get into a fight. I think it's his hat. Every time I wear this hat, it sort of attracts weirdos. I think I might have to wear the grey one tomorrow. I've never had an issue with it in Bristol. It seems to be a Scotland thing. Maybe it's because it's tartan or something. Kind of. I don't know. Right, I think I've got to go over this bridge. So yeah, all in all, I survived it. It's an interesting wander. It's just very different to what I've been doing for the last few weeks, I suppose. Like, I've just kind of been out on my own in the middle of nowhere, and now suddenly I'm throwing myself into like a capital city, sort of camping outside the police. So yeah, definitely an experience. Every time I come to a place like this, I sort of think it'd be nice to go to university here or something, like back in the day. I've kind of missed out really. But I guess it's never too late really, is it? You know, I feel like Glasgow had a slightly more, like in the centre there was more sort of like kind of odd American type cafes and things. All the roads are like kind of crisscross. It's a bit American feeling in some ways, but Edinburgh doesn't have that as much. It's a bit more old. I need to do some research, don't I? But maybe it's because of the old city. I don't know. It's a bit more. It is a bit more like London. That kind of. It's a bit like Oxford Street, Oxford Circus. No, not Oxford Circus. Is it Oxford Street? That really loud one with all the clothes shops. It's a bit like that. It's just massive. Anyway, the kettle's boiling. Yeah, a chap approached me in the street, like in the middle of Queen's Row or something. And he was like, "Come for a pint, I'll buy you a beer." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know, I don't drink." No, he didn't. I don't think he really liked that. He sort of grabbed me by the neck almost, but kind of like he was kind of looking at me, sort of checking out what I wanted to do next, kind of thing. And because I sort of gave him eye contact and talked to him, I think it kind of calmed him down a bit. He was talking to me about the Commonwealth and the Queen and how they have snipers on the roof or something on one of the buildings. Yeah, when she came to visit. I can't remember what else he said now. It's very intense, and I feel like he was kind of staring me out a bit, like if I had said anything to kind of irritate him, which I probably did, because he was like, "Are you proud to be British?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know." That's a mistake. And he was like giving me very intense, close eye contact, and I was like, "No, I am. I think I am. Yeah." Like, I don't know. It sort of caught me off guard a bit. I was just too honest. I was like, I don't know, do I think about that? But I guess I don't know. And then he was saying about Putin and how we've got the Commonwealth and we're the safest country in the world and all this. And although it was kind of, very, I was like, I was kind of like, what's happening? You know, how do I turn around and kind of go about my evening without upsetting him? But at the same time, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. It made me think, anyway. He made me think. The next day, I visited the National History Museum. Walked straight into the science area. Seemed pretty interesting to me. Some star signs and that. Skeleton. Formula One car. Oh, this is cool up here. It's the roof of the museum. It's about the 6th floor or something, but you can see for miles right across the city. It's just a shame it was so bitterly cold up there.
Scotland signed the Union of 1707 with England and went on to play a central role in the expansion of the British Empire.
Making waves in the YouTube world. Get it? I've always wanted one of these. Zzz. Just mentally preparing myself for going to CERN, hopefully, later in the year. Particle accelerators, always interesting. Looks like an old submarine or something. This is how you're watching this video. So this is kind of the last of the city before I decide to start heading back. It does in fact seem that my original plan of kind of just pretending like everything's alright and just driving home with like a positive mindset, I figured that everything would be fine. There's a small chance, however, that might have been a mistake, because I've broken down again, quite sort of nearly spectacularly, but luckily I managed to get off the motorway. And now I've got 2 stuck brakes, not just one, so I guess that's like a bonus point? I don't know. Got like a back brake sort of getting hot as well. So I'm just like having a cup of tea and sort of waiting for it to all blow over. I'm waiting for it to cool down. I don't know what to do. So I'm in no man's land now. I'm south of Glasgow, but I'm not at Dumfries. I'm like halfway. I've finally had to order some parts. Well, brake caliper, and I've got a hose for it, because it's been brought to my attention that I might not be able to make it all the way home, which is about 600 miles. There is a chance that I'm going to have to accept defeat and drop 100 and 200 quid or whatever it is. Bit of copper pipe I've ordered, so that'll fix one of my 2 brakes. So to me, that's sort of good to go, like, and just don't worry about the back one. Oh god, I haven't done that caliper either. It's getting expensive. I don't have enough money to fix that one this month. Like, I'm out of money now, completely. So there was one silver lining, and I did fill up with food and water and fuel just before I left. So if I break down, I'm trying to get somewhere where I can stay the night that isn't on a main road. I wanted to get to the middle of nowhere to this park up that I've been to before. It's really good. But we're going to have to see how that goes, because I genuinely don't know if I'm going to make it now. It's like 60 miles. Even if I don't use the brakes, it seems to do it. So I'm really confused as to what's going on, and I really just need to get there so that I can kind of take it apart and have a look. I just need to get there somehow, but yeah, I don't know. If I call the RAC, I think I've got cover. I haven't checked, to be honest. I don't know if it's... I mean, they'll just tow me to a garage, and that's no good to me at the moment, because I wouldn't be able to pay them anyway, so... yeah. I think they just... If they tow you home, they kind of like just send you home and then arrange the van to be collected like a week later, if it's like this far. I can't do that. I can't leave all my stuff. That's just not... I've got... My whole life is in this van, so... Like, what would I do? What would be the point of that? It's just going to have to... I'm just going to have to stay with it. So, yeah. Let's do an update in like 20 minutes when there's smoke pouring out the wheel again. I'd just like to point out that I did still have the ability to brake, obviously. But, you know, going again was slightly tricky. Road Nightmare Phase 2, Stage 2. Okay, we made it to a sort of secluded spot, I'd say. It's like right by a main road, but it's about 20 metres away, or 30 maybe. So hopefully the traffic won't be too loud, although they are doing like 80 past. I basically just didn't press the brake pedal again and it was alright. So yeah, we'll see how it goes tomorrow. After I've got the parts, I'll go back to the spot I wanted to go to and stay there, and do some maintenance. No, we'll call it, we'll do a little bit of TLC on the van. Adding the ability to stop, and also to be able to go after stopping, feels like a luxury at this point. Modcon. Modern technology. You know, people used to drive around on horses and they do whatever the hell they want, so I don't really know what the point is here, but it makes me feel like I've achieved something in a kind of roundabout way. I think the achievement is survival. I just went outside to go for like a little walk around. There's no paths or anything, it's literally just 2 parking spaces off the road, which is really convenient, to be honest. But I did get chased by a load of bees. So I'm thinking staying inside the van and drinking more tea could be an outstanding career move at this point. I mean, it would would liven things up a bit for the channel, I suppose, but maybe we've had enough excitement for one afternoon. Maybe one just needs to relax in their luxury apartment in the side of the woods. Whoa. My sparkly worktop. So this is the state of affairs. We're about to change the caliper and the brake goes because I can't move, so it's got to go. It's buggered. Getting it off could be interesting. I do have a blowtorch as a last ditch. I guess I could cut it off. I'm not sure if I've got the right union, but we'll find out. I've got 4 hours of daylight. Probably started too late. Just want to go to bed. Maybe it's just time to have a cup of tea and wait for this to all blow over again. Do it tomorrow. But then I'm stuck, aren't I? So, right, let's go. Let's do it. 427 cups of tea later. Right, I'm feeling victorious. I mean, I haven't tested it yet, but it's really ideal, right? Normally you need 2 people to bleed the brakes out. I ended up doing a whole new line all the way back to the ABS pump underneath the van. And this is just a perfect spot. There's no wind, sunny. I've still got like an hour of daylight to tidy up now and get rid of this old pipe. Somehow. I need to cut it out or something. Yeah, maybe I'll cut it out. I'll cut it into bits. Secure the new line and then put the wheel back on. So I've bled it, but because it's like this wheel, you can press the brake pedal with your hand and reach over and like bleed it. Oh, that was so good. I was just thinking, I don't know how I'm going to bleed it. So, I mean, yeah, you can literally, this is a trick. I don't know if anyone's ever done this before, but I can reach like that, and because the wheel's off and it's turned that way, I could actually get my hand on the spanner and crack the bleed nipple. And as you can see, there's fluid everywhere, so I did it 3 or 4 times. Hopefully that's enough to get all the air out. But the pedal feels firm. I mean, I haven't sat in it yet, but it's firmer than, you know, it was, I think, so that's good. Should have brakes, hopefully. Yes, I was underneath the van, and I always hate doing this. I've done about 3 out of, no, I've probably done about 5 out of 6. 4 or 5 of them now. There's probably 1 or 2 to go. There's pipes that come out the ABS pump. So I've replaced most of the steel lines with copper lines, or Keep Pro. But every time I undo it, I can't get the new fucking line in, and it just like pisses all over you. And of course, the very first thing that happened was it squirted in my eye, and I've got all this like brake fluid running out. And the last thing I want to do is have to bleed a master cylinder at the side of the road with no tools, no pump or anything. I mean, it's just not going to happen, is it, on one of these? Because you can't even reach inside these to plug up. You could probably, there's probably a way of doing it, but without, I just don't know if I'd have all the stuff. So that was very lucky that it didn't run out, and I got to it in time. And I just splashed my eyes with some water, so it'll probably be fine. I'm absolutely covered in brake fluid, but I don't care because that went better than I thought it was going to go. I haven't broken anything off. I'll just check for leaks, I suppose, and then tidy up. But that, it would have been easier if I could have got this off, but of course it was rusted to the bloody union, so it just snapped right off. The pipe snapped in half. So standard. Right, one of the brakes is done with. I think the other one might be all right if the handbrake just adjusts itself back up again, because it's probably because I've been using the handbrake to brake. Oh, I need to adjust the handbrake actually while the van's jacked up. Yeah. Adjust the handbrake cable, I mean. Right, nearly there. I'm going to put you away so I can finish up. Oh, look at the state of me. It's not like I can just have a shower either. Got fucking brake fluid on my t-shirt as well, but... Right, I've done all the stuff, like the mechanical stuff. Bend that pipe a little bit. That should be alright. Let's check underneath. Oh, this is so annoying. Right, now we're done. Now the brake pipe's in a better position, and nothing appears to be hitting anything, so, oh yeah, that'll be alright. Nothing appears to be leaking. Right, let's tidy up. Bloody hell. Oh, I think I'm gonna die. This is the bit where they'd like cut it in if it is a film and I was Burt Reynolds, or like Clint Eastwood or something, or just like an average mechanic, you know, someone heroic or something. Look at the state of all this. Let's go and put it all back. Heading south. I think I might have gone the wrong way again. Well, I just followed the sat nav, and it's like a forestry road, I think, but it wasn't really obvious sort of turning into it, to be honest, so I just kind of didn't really think about it. But it's like first gear all the way because the road is so rough. But if it gets there, it looks like they've cleared it, so it might just take us a little while. I've not come in from this side before. This might end up where I ended up the first time when I came in from the south, and it was like, do not go past this area or whatever. So I drove for like 5 minutes and then stopped, but maybe it comes out here. It'll be kind of interesting to find out. Put that caliper on. I always seem to get this issue with bloody French calipers. The bleed valve is just ever so slightly weeping a little bit, but maybe it's just, I don't know, it's a bit odd. But it's very minimal, so I'm kind of just going to have to ignore it for now because I can't do it up any tighter. So, other than that, it works fine. If it gets me home, then it gets me home, doesn't it? God, look at that. Absolutely amazing bit of landscape here. Don't know if you can get down there or not. This bit's not as bad as the last couple of bits that I've been on. Keep expecting like a ranger to drive up to me and be like, what are you doing? Yeah, I quite like these sort of like completely inaccessible lakes and stuff. I wonder if people have ever been down there really. Like, you know, members of the public anyway. Obviously they're cutting all this forest down, so they probably would have got down there at some point. The last bit I was driving on, see I'm in second gear now, and it's just about alright, but it was like, instead of gravel, it was just like rocks. They've like made a road out of rocks, so it just like shakes the whole suspension apart. In fact, this isn't really that good either. It's just my steering wheel. Oh god, don't like it. So I'll have to continue on like this, slow and steady, and hope that the road's no blockage or anything. Otherwise I'll have to turn around and get all the way back. But I'm assuming it's alright because there's there's evidence that someone else has been driving down here, so it's always a good sign. So I want to get back to the viaduct and chill and not have to look at my brakes. I discovered just now that there was a bit where you can drive with your wheel in the middle, like on the edge, and it's a bit smoother. But I can't really do that here because it's a bit rocky in the middle. Got into second gear again. I just passed another van, but he didn't seem like he wanted to stop. I was just going to ask him if he'd come from the viaduct. But so other people use it by the seam of it. God, this is such a cool road. Like, it's just like no one would come down here unless it was kind of, they knew the roads. It must be like a bridleway or something. You know, there must be some reason why it appears on Google Maps as a road. I mean, it might be a road. You know, it's just not been surfaced properly. But it seems more like forestry have kind of done it, and maybe they use Google and stuff, and it just kind of, I don't know. I need to look into the laws surrounding public access, like pathways. I know there's like 4 different types. There's like bridleways, footpaths. I think bridleways were like for horses are allowed down them, I think. There's another one as well, apart from road, but I've forgotten what it is. But it's all sort of historical stuff, you know, historical reasons and laws, and I don't know what ones you're allowed to drive a vehicle down or whatever, but it seems as though this one's fine. If it is, like, if it comes out somewhere different and there's no sign, I might go and camp out there, although there's no internet, but it's so quiet. It's lovely. Do a night. But it's kind of a bit inaccessible, like if you want to get away or something, it's a bit annoying. But it's a good bit of landscape. It's a shame that I'm not going for it quicker. Make it a bit more interesting. There's loads of rocks up on the side of on this side, on the cliff that kind of stick out. It looks really weird. I think they must farm these trees. I think they must sell them for wood or something, you know, cheap wood, grow quick, and that's one of my other tree of choice in the Scottish national parks. Just thought I'd film this bit because it looks cool. We're a couple of miles away. No, probably less than that. I'm sure it's going to come out where I think it's going to come out. And if it does, then I need to remember that Google Maps sends you to the middle of a tree and there's no road. So at some point along here, there'll probably be a right-hand turn. That's nearly drove into that tree there. This is so lush. I could easily camp up there. There was a spot just about there and there was signal and stuff. So if the viaduct has got people, then I might come back here for the night because it's cool, isn't it? Got a good view back up the hill as well. I haven't seen any rangers or anything. Even though the other end of this road, if it does come out there, it does say, maybe it's only that little bit then. Maybe it's only, like maybe this bit's still technically a road and then that little bit that they've done is like no access. Probably better turn Google Maps on so don't lose, because I've got no signal and it sort of crashes sometimes. It's like Top Gear, but it's like the opposite of Top Gear. You're in bottom gear all the time. I think this channel might be the new bottom gear. Maybe I'll call it first gear. There's no copyright infringements there, is there? I wonder if there's probably loads of green laning channels actually. There it is, guys. I'm still not 100% sure if this is the same road or not, but we'll find out. No, we're coming from the same direction. I swear this was the road, right? It looks too old though. I feel like all the pebbles were newer when I drove down it the first time. Pebbles. We've done it. Off-road route. This is the start of the 25-mile cycle route to Glentrool. Track is rough and steep. There are no facilities. Food, drink, that. I don't know what the other side says. We'll walk over and have a look in a bit. This place is absolute quality. I love it. It's just like so dramatic and so desolate at the same time. And there's no one here. Beautiful. This is my favourite place in the whole trip. Or so I thought. So I actually moved because I came back to that place that we just drove past like 10 minutes before, because the scenery is amazing, but mainly because the moment I pulled over and sort of like sat down, everyone just like seemed to descend upon the viaduct. So like a motorhome just like pulled straight in, like right next to me, dog running around my van, you know, loud, sort of talking, and a guy on a quad bike going up and down. Then the dogs were like getting into a fight, and I was just like, I can't be bothered with this. Oh, and there was other dog walkers. It's just not how I remember it. I was there on my own for like 2 days last time. I didn't see anyone apart from like one couple, so yeah, let's go for a walk here. This is a really good spot. I had a look on the map, and yeah, it's like there's like a road, as far as I can make out from Google Maps, it's a road, but I think it's just a bit from the viaduct to here at the beginning. There's a bit that you're probably not supposed to drive down because there's like access to a house, but then it sort of looks like you join a proper road again on Google Maps. So and at the other end I'm pretty sure there's no sign saying you can't drive down here, because it was just like wide open. So I think we're good, and it's perfect because I've got internet and there's no one here, and also this pull-in is just like there's only enough room for like one person, so unless someone tells me to move, I'm going to stay here because it's lovely. It's like the other place but without the road noise. It's like even better. The other place was fine as well because it wasn't that loud. Alright, let's have a cup of tea and then go for a walk. I went for a walk. See if we can get away staying here tonight. Don't see why not. I haven't seen anyone. Some of the other ones in other national parks, there's like rangers all going up and down once every half an hour, maybe a bit less, but yeah, I've not seen anyone around here. I mean, if it's unclear, then I think it's fair game. It's a little bit breezy. I'm wearing shorts, but I've got a coat and a hat, so I'll probably be too hot in a minute. In fact, I know I will be. I think I'll have to walk a lot further to get that view of the lake. I think you have to go right over that brow And I'm not doing that tonight. Is that a creaky tree? No, it sounds more like a bird or something. Maybe it's a woodpecker. I love being in the middle of nowhere on my own. Just feel good again. Like being outside. Go a bit further, shall we? I think it might be a creaky tree. But there's no wind today. So my new dilemma is that I've spent basically I think I've spent so much money on parts this week that I might not have enough fuel to get home now because I'm a bit skint. And I've stayed longer than I anticipated before I can get. I might be stuck here for like potentially another 3 weeks. I just forgot that I've still got to go sort of 500-600 miles, and yeah, I don't have much fuel. And I thought I had cash, and apparently I've spent it all, so that's cool. So my options are I might be able to get back, like if I'm frugal with food and stuff, but maybe I should just hang around a bit longer and see if I can work on some stuff on my laptop. And I've got loads of reading to do. I have to bring some books. I'm studying as well, I'm like a student, so but it's getting hard doing it on the road. But it's a pretty cool dilemma to be stuck in. And I kind of, when I left, I sort of knew that this might happen. But it's one of those things where you just have to do it, don't you, and worry about stuff later. Otherwise you never do anything. So, weather's really nice. Hopefully there's a couple of people I might be able to hang out with in Glasgow. I think that's how they say it. I think I can pick it up a little bit. So we'll go and park in Glasgow. Yeah, I can't do it. Go and park in Glasgow. Sometimes I've noticed that far away, like conifer trees, in certain light, they sort of have this like 2D kind of aesthetic, where they're sort of blurry. That looks really cool, especially when you're driving past them. It's like really sketchy, because it's just so far away. Like, not the close ones, I mean the ones in the background. That's a little tiny waterfall. It sounded like there was a bigger river than there actually is. If this had like a big river next to it, it'd be absolutely perfect. But it's not really big enough to swim in. Well, it's not really big enough, but... The next morning, I made a decision. Oh, God, I can't even talk. Yeah. End of the trip, I guess. I can't even fucking get this out. Hang on. Okay, am I composed? I don't know what happened there. Fucking hell. I guess it's just, it sort of hit me. Realisation that I've done it and I'm going. I mean, I could just be tired as well. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. I'm not even sad. This is a stupid thing. Well, I guess I'm a bit sad. But, like, I could come back, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. It's just been a bit of a journey, sort of getting to this point, and yeah, making the decision to leave suddenly feels really, really hard. But all the signs are pointing to now to head south. Oh, let's put the hat on. Maybe that'll help. Right, yeah. So yeah, I'll probably never forget this trip. Well, I definitely won't. So, but there will be more. I just don't know exactly when, so I didn't think I was going to feel sad about suddenly calling it. It's all my own decision as well, that's why it's kind of funny. I've seen one car in 24 hours, one truck. I could stay like one more night, but it's like loads of stuff's just kind of piling up and I'm getting low on resources again, so I think now is the moment. So let's do it. Let's crack on. And Scotland, we will be back, because this is probably the last stop for Scotland. For now, for this trip. apparently it's left an impression on me. So there we go. Then I try to make my way out of the forest. Right, just driving back. I just wanted to. Oh Jesus, what was that? That didn't sound too good, did it? I better just check that I haven't sumped my bloody engine. More drama. I went to check. I think I might have actually hit the sump, but I don't think I've broken it. There's no more oil dripping off of it than normal, so hopefully we're right. That was a close one, wasn't it? It looks like it's the lowest point of anything on the bottom of the van, so probably scraped it. But because I'm going really slow, we're alright. I'm just driving through this road and it's all like trees in the middle of the place. And yeah, it was a bit like this. It was like a little pothole where the tyre, like I must have just gone in one of those a bit too deep, and then the middle bit scraped under the van. It's a bit sketchy really, but we're nearly at the end of it. I'll just park underneath a tree that's falling over. I made it out, eventually. Right, so just a little update. I'm officially back in England and I'm in the Lake District again. I'll probably stay here a couple of nights and then go further south to the peaks or something. And what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, so it turns out that the road that I parked on last night and stayed over on was quiet for a reason, because it was actually a private road. Well, I don't know. I mean, basically what happened was I got to the end of the road and it was locked, like that. You know, padlocked. There was like a gate across it, which I don't even remember seeing, to be honest. I mean, obviously it was open when I drove into it, and there was no signs as far as I could tell. So, but it was very lucky because just as I was turning around, like a logging lorry came through. I don't know whether there's a separate road that they come from. But he was like, "Oh, they hardly ever lock it, to be honest." So, I'm just unlocking it now so I can get out. So luckily I could get out. But yeah, that was. I was thinking my other options are turn around and drive all the way back, which is like half an hour to that spot again and just stay another night, or just keep going all the way the other way back to the viaduct. I hope that there wasn't a gate there. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Yeah, so they locked me in, but it all sort of worked out in the end. I haven't broken down. There was like the tiniest bit of fluid almost sort of left on the caliper, not on the caliper, but like around the bleed valve, but it's probably just leaking out. It's probably just left over from what was in the screw, so it's probably fine. Yeah, no locked brakes. I was doing like 60 the whole way, so that's a relief. So I can get home. So that's it really. I decided earlier that I'd kind of had enough in terms of the fact that I've got loads of stuff to sort out at home and editing, but I'm gonna, get the van up to scratch, MOT it, paint it. It's gonna be probably a second coat. I might do a video for that, so maybe we'll do a how not to paint your van video again. So that'd be cool. Finish off a few little bits inside the van, regroup a little bit, and then probably if I can afford it, I'll hit the road again. Yeah, peace out, people. And remember, I was going to give you some advice, but I don't have any. So just remember 4,981. It's all about just trying to live life and just seeing where the road takes you, really, isn't it? That's kind of all you can do. Yeah, just follow your dreams and just try and achieve what you think is unachievable. Even if it seems kind of trivial and small, just do it. Like, that's what I'm learning. On the way back, I stopped at the lakes. And so I returned to Wastwater, England's deepest lake. Such a fantastic view across this bit of water here. Such a great view looking over towards the Scree. the hills on the other side of the water. Just like a completely different world, this bit of landscape. One last dip. He's going for it. Or is he? Yep. I'm stood in some water. Oh, it's a little bit slippy. Making this look very graceful. I don't really know what I was thinking. I just imagined it would be really easy. But looking from the angle of this particular clip, you can actually see how shallow the ledge is. So you have to walk out really far to get to any kind of water. And it was just too slippy. It's actually a little bit dangerous, to be honest. I just didn't realise until I got in. Well, it looks like it's just as rocky, but it might drop off a little quicker. So I don't know, I'll paddle in and see what it's like. But if it's too treacherous, then I think it'll be a no-go. It needs like a path or something, like a runway. What I was thinking of doing was just kind of like almost just floating straight in, like head first, swimming. But I don't think it was even deep enough to do that. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, there's some rocks. Have a little bit of a wash anyway. Definitely the most anticlimactic swim of the entire trip. It's just like loads of algae floating around everywhere, like little bits of algae. So just had a quick splash in the shallow bit. Doesn't really make me want to go any further because it's just like green. So yeah, probably not the best for swimming. It's probably all right in other spots where it gets the sun a bit more, maybe, but don't know. And there we have it, the end of a trip that I will certainly never forget. Hopefully there will be many more to come. If you enjoyed this video, and indeed the series, then please do consider hitting the subscribe button. It would really help me out. The end. The smeg it is.